Merry meet, guys. Welcome back to Witches of the Moon. I am your Wednesday host, Houston, and this week, getting my notes ready, week 11, it is Choose Our Own Topic week. And today, I wanted to talk about pop culture witchcraft. What it is, what it's about, how if you want to incorporate it into your practice, you can. Um, so yeah, I did take a little bit of notes, so I'm not umming on. But in this video, I basically want to tell you what pop culture witchcraft is and my experience with it, because I have been experimenting with pop culture magic for the past year. It's been interesting, super interesting. But pop culture witchcraft is a sect of witchcraft where the practitioners use mainstream media, that is to say popular things in the modern culture, in their craft and magical practice. Now, with that being said, what defines mainstream media? Mainstream media, it's kind of remedial, but I'm going to say it anyway, can be movies, songs, books, television shows, things like that, that influence your magic or can give you a inspiration to perform magic based on a particular mainstream media icon or action in the movie or in the book or what have you, or to try to replicate magic of a book. Let's say try to create your own spells from Harry Potter. I know that sounds ridiculous, and some of this stuff may sound ridiculous, but I was told once, and it's kind of rung true, that a lot of people in the pagan community, they say Hollywood magic isn't real. And I was told by someone who I looked up to at the time, say, what do you mean it's not real? So you're saying if we were outside and it was dark and it was lightning a little bit, it was a summer storm, like if I look up and I point and I focus on one particular area in that cloud and I will it lightning to happen right there, and it happens, are you going to call it a coincidence? Or are you going to say it's magic? So that's kind of the dumbed down version. But in my opinion, and in my belief, I believe that magic that is portrayed on TV shows, not really so much, maybe anime. Maybe we'll stretch that far. Anime, TV shows, movies, such like Practical Magic, Charmed, Bewitched. My brain's going dumb. Oh, the Shadow Hunters. If you read the series and watched the TV series, The Shadow Hunters, even Disney films, where magic is portrayed, such as Tangled, the Princess and the Frog, Ariel, Little Mermaid, things like that. Those concepts of magic can be used to bring about change in the physical reality. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to, because I'm a huge Charmed fan, I'm not going to say you're going to be able to wave your hands like Piper and freeze everything. But at the same time, there is a shamanic ability and a shamanic technique where you can slow down time, or you can speed up time, because time is not linear. Time moves more in a cycle, a circular cycle of motion, if that makes any sense. So there are techniques that you can do to slow down time, to speed up time, to step out of time. And they're more trance-inducive, but it's not like you're going to get the physical, immediate gratification of just waving your hands like that and time stops, or something blows up, or swing your arm and something flies across the room. I am using a lot of Charmed references. That is because I do love, that's my all-time favorite series. I know a lot of people can't get into it, but that's one of the first shows I grew up grew up and grew into the craft knowing was Charmed. I can tell you how much of a nerd I am. Every spell they ever did in this notebook. It's from the beginning all the way down to the demon vanquishes are in this notebook. I think this is one of two. I know I have another one somewhere that's a little bit better kept, that has all the spells written down from the beginning all the way to the last episode. So going back to Pop Culture Witchcraft, went on a side tangent. I'll tie in Charmed. There are a few spells in Charmed that, and I know a lot of people are going to listen to me and think I'm nuts. You know what? That's okay, because a lot of, and I'm not saying I'm a guru at all, but at any means I'm not a guru. But a lot of people in higher spiritual evolution cycles and ascension, people that didn't really understand it, thought they were nuts, thought they were crazy. So that's okay. I'll take the title as crazy, but I'm sharing with you my experience in the Pop Culture Witchcraft, so just bear with me for the rest of the video, if you will. One of the spells I have done from Charmed, that has shown me great success, and I've only used it twice, because I've only needed it twice, is actually the Truth spell. And this spell, if you're any Charmed fanatic, it's when Prue wants to find out if Andy will like her being a witch. So she casts it while Prue and Piper come in the house, and now everything that Piper and Phoebe come in the house, and everything that all the sisters say and are said to each other, they ask questions they have to answer with the truth. They can't lie for 24 hours. So I have used this, spell multiple times. I've tweaked it a little bit, added, instead of just the words, I've added candles, herbs, oils. My last one I did was a jar spell, where I wanted the person just to be wrapped up in the truth. I didn't want them to lie anymore. And it's a simple 4-line incantation, and I went off of that. So that's the basis of Pop Culture Witchcraft, is getting your inspiration from media, from culture, from magic that's portrayed on TV and in books, and bouncing ideas off of it, and creating your own new style of magic, or own new type of magic, or new spells and new rituals. So the original, I'm not going to say the original one. I have a couple more ideas, which I will say the spell, but this is not one of them. So there's another one that I have done, and I think I've talked about it on my channel a lot. I'm also a huge fan of Jack Skellington. I think every year when Christmas and Halloween comes around, me and my partner go and buy the plushies and the basically everything Jack Skellington, because I love them. So for this year, I think for Halloween or our anniversary, my partner got me a smaller version of him, of Jack, and I got a version of Sally, and I bought a version of this is bad, it's one of my favorite little movies, and I can't remember, the Oogie Boogie. I have a little glow-in-the-dark version of him. He's a little plushie. And I do enchant these guys. So this guy I've had since I was in high school, and he's been with me everywhere. He's lived with me when I lived in the college dorms. He's lived with me when I moved out. He's just been with me since high school. I didn't leave him at home. And he's been enchanted as my guardian, and he's a physical vessel for a spiritual thought form, or spirit thought form that I've created. At the moment, he's sleeping because I haven't worked with him in a long time. I can still feel him in him, the spirit, the servitor that I've created that looks just like Jack Skellington. So basically what I do is, if you know how to create spirit servitors, guardians, creating your own familiar, there's a lot of different ways to create, or thought forms. A lot of different ways you can create it. This isn't the type of video for that. If you want to Google it or YouTube it, there's tons of videos on how to create them. There's also a really good book by Damon Brand on magical servitors. I believe him and his associates, the Gallery of Magic, they simplify magic down so much where their books are really inexpensive, but it's simplified so much to where you get it. Like, there's no dogma, there's no cryptid language, you just get it. And it clicks with you, and it's easy to understand. But with him, I enchanted him to be a servitor to help me with night terrors and to help me stay protected when I live by myself. So when I was in college, there was a time when all my roommates had moved out, and I was by myself in a 2-bedroom apartment on the island, James Island, and it was a really dark time. This is going into a story, but it's pop culture related. And my sister recommended me to enchant an item for protection. And at the time, I was so trying to get comfort. So the movie that I thought about comforting was Nightmare Before Christmas, weirdly enough. And so I remember I had this doll, and I was like, I'll enchant it. So every night before I went to sleep, I talked to him, I spoke him into life, and I visualized him standing at my doorway, or standing at the window by my bed, and protecting me from if there were nasty energies coming in, or protecting me from any possible intruders, or scaring nightmares away. And I haven't really had to use him much now, because I'm at a place in my life where I am comfortable, and there may be a time where I call on him again, but as of right now, he's good. He's good sitting here. He's like a little baby now. So there are tons of things you can do. Like I went from Charmed, the TV show, to this is Pixar, right? They're not Disney. Well, I guess it's Disney. Disney. Yeah, it's Disney. I think. I don't know. Disney has bought so many companies these days. The next thing I wanted to show you guys and share with you guys that you could do as working with Pop Culture Witchcraft is also don't be limited. And an amazing person who really got me into this is actually our Monday's hostess, Ava Marie. She got me into looking more in depth into pop culture, magic and witchcraft, and taking things. I'm trying to find. Okay, taking things from certain. I'm not saying religions because I don't pick and shake from religions, but certain media outlets, and kind of melding them into my practice and experimenting, and always keeping a written record of what I experience. And I have not done this yet. I thought this would be an amazing idea. I saw this on Tumblr, which, if you're interested in pop culture witchcraft, they have a whole section of it on Tumblr. But don't ever bring up the words cultural appropriation, because you'll get depressed. Don't do it. You'll be stupidity. And I'm not saying cultural appropriation is a bad thing. It's just the people that argue it. Another story. But I saw this, and it's all of the Shadow Hunters tattoos. And I was thinking these could be used as runes, or they could be used as sigils for personal work. You carve them into candles. You can write them on paper and burn them. Draw them on your skin if you want to be like the Shadow Hunters. This book is called the Shadow Hunters Codex. It's basically Cassandra Clare and Joshua Lewis. I haven't got that far into the series, but it's basically Claire's journal when she went to the Shadowhunter school. Because I think eventually in the book she does. I think I've only read like the 3rd book, and there's like 7 of them, or maybe more. It's kind of sad. Of me, none of the series. The series is fantastic. But you can use that. So something else to consider as well is within pop culture witchcraft, I should say, don't let other people stop you from trying something new. Now, if something doesn't feel right, like if you get into it and you're about to work a spell based on something and you get to writing it and all of a sudden you just feel wrong, like follow your gut. You know, just follow your gut. But there are certain spells, curses, things like that that do involve pop culture magic and pop culture references that are pretty nasty. I know there is one, and it's nasty, but it's kind of one of my favorites. I haven't used it, but in theory, it sounds fantastic. It's called My Friends on the Other Side Curse. It's based on the Shadow Man from The Princess and the Frog. It sounds fantastic. I love me a good old demented type of magic, to a degree. I don't do it all the time, but it sounds like I said, it sounds fantastic. I do have that written down and saved. There's one that I want to show you. Well, not. I'll tell you about it because it's, well, you probably can see. It's based on Rapunzel. It's Heal What Has Been Hurt, and it basically it goes over, or it uses the song that she sings to activate her hair to heal someone or something or an aspect of your life. Oh, actually, this is pretty simple. It says a spell. Actually, before I made this video, I was looking on Tumblr and this popped up, and I thought it'd be very awesome to add into. So this spell, it's a spell for speed healing, to speed healing. So this has probably been, what you'll need is your voice, because you're going to sing, and a length of cloth enough to wrap around the wound a couple times, preferably yellow or gold, or purple, as the sunflowers embroidered on it. With the sunflowers embroidered on it. You don't have to do that. You can use any color correspondence you want. It's just, that's what they recommend. Step 1. Clean and bandage the injury. Apply whatever medicines you would normally and make sure the cloth is clean as well. Also, with any type of magic, understand that magic should be the second step to healing. The first step is to go see a professional. Do not perform magic while you are sick, in my opinion. It's draining and it makes you worse. Also, again, do not, in lieu of seeing a professional, do not just cast a spell and think you're healed. If it's really bad, and if you have an inkling of anything, go see a doctor. Then work magic, or have someone help you. But do not rely on magic solely for your health. Solely for anything. You have to take physical action. With that serious note aside, it's very serious. Now, step 2. After you clean your bandage, ground and center yourself and prepare how you normally would. So ground and center like you would for a regular spell. Take the cloth and wind it loosely around the wound, the bandage wound, so it's not really going to get dirty. And then start to sing the song. And the song goes as follows. I'm not going to sing, I'm just going to say. Flower, gleam and glow, let your power shine, make the clock reverse, bring back what once was mine. Heal what has been hurt, change the fate's design, save what has been lost, bring back what once was mine, what once was mine. And while you're visualizing this, you want to, or while you're singing this, you want to visualize the cloth becoming gold like Rapunzel's hair does and starts to glow, and feel the warmth and, feel it. Start filling, F-I-L-L, filling it with healing energy, and that amplifies the spell. So that is one of the ideas. there are many different things you can do. I know this video is kind of all over the place, like my mostly videos. I try to take notes and it doesn't really work. But Pop Culture Witchcraft isn't about a way of life like witchcraft is. It's a side of witchcraft. Like, I don't really have anything else to explain it to, because if you think of any other witchcraft or paganism paths, they're all a way of life. I don't think pop culture witchcraft, in my opinion, is a way of life. I think it's a way of experimentation and inspiration to create magic based on something you see or read. And I mean, there totally could. I mean, like, you could, bless their souls, you could have a matron of Carrie Fisher. I've seen that pop up on where they've made her a saint, like a novella candle of Carrie Fisher and her Frenchie and her with the bird up. And it has a prayer to, oh, Carrie Fisher, yada, yada, yada. You can probably find that on Google, the Carrie Fisher prayer. You could also have images and idols of people in pop music. Your favorite authors, favorite actors and actresses, if you wanted to. I think more of songwriters and artists, more so than actors and actresses for me. Like, I can see people honoring the memory of Prince, honoring the memory of Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, Pink, Cher, even though those two are still alive. Not really, well, they are honoring, right? Late at night, sorry. So you kind of get the gist of what pop culture witchcraft is. It's not, like I said, I don't believe, in my opinion, it's a way of life. It's a way of experimentation and a way of think of outside the box. Like, when you think of, oh my God, I need to get a new job, so I'm going to work a spell. You could always go pick up your any spell book that they sell on the shelf, or your personal one, and do one onto there. I'm not going to say it's not going to get results, but I think adding a little bit more fun and a twist, and doing something that's based off of one of your favorite movies, like, I'm not a big movie person, it's a horrible thing to do. Spell from The Devil Wears Prada. How Anne Hathaway moved up in her workforce. Use inspiration from that to create a new job or get a promotion. If you are looking for health, I just showed you one of the healing spells, one of thousands that are based on Disney or TV or songs. There are spells and rituals based on just song lyrics. Some of them are really twisted, so please be careful. Like, they're really, really dark. And there's a time and place for that, but they're pretty dark. So, with that being said, and me hugging my Jack Skeleton, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or think I know I derailed a couple times. If you have any questions or want me to comment further on this week's video, please let me know down in the description box. And until next week, many blessings, guys.